if you felt left out of that last bidding war, you can always donate money to get a deck of your choosing played too. This is viewer powered stream. It looks like I have a bunch of people that submitted decks since we thawed the queue. Looks like I have 22 submissions waiting for review for later tonight. This hand seems absurd. The queue has thawed. It is open once again for normal $10 donations for subscribers. I'm gonna top both of those, I think. Faithless Looting seems really good for plowing through what we have going on here. I know I need some lands, but like next turn I just get to like Manamorphose into Ascension. We've definitely lost some games. Hey, look at that. Look at that. We had extra surgical extraction in our board. Oh, did I not update Stream Decker? Thought I did. Totally forgot. Stream Decker is live. Can also hold the Manamorphose to cast my white spells. That's true. That's true. Yeah, this matchup's very much about board presence, right? While they're kind of an unfair engine deck, they kill us by putting enough creatures into play. So ideally, we want to try and flip Thing in the Ice while simultaneously not exposing it to Conflagrate, I would venture to guess. So they're getting an Amalgam back here. Honestly, I probably want to path this Amalgam this turn. I think I'm going to lead on Manamorphose for red-white. I just want to preserve my health total a little bit, I think. Start with this, see where we get. Well, that's pretty good. So we'd kind of like to draw. I guess even if I draw red source next turn, this gives them the blood gas back. Oh, I guess the second bolt, I should have been Helix, right? I don't know, I could probably use the health from Helix, right? They are about to get an absurd number of price amalgams. Yeah, the second Ascension is probably too greedy to get set up. I have another Faithless Looting here, so it's like it's not that big of a deal. Wow, do they not have a land? Wow, they don't have a land. Okay, so... Well, we're definitely starting with this, right? I make red here. I think I just make red. And then I think I want to bolt this so then my Faithless Looting gets doubled because Pyromancer Ascension is going to be online now with this one. Great, it's 2 counters. Yeah. So I'm going to kill that because they don't have haste yet. I'm going to cast Looting here, which is going to double. Let's get these on auto yield. Always yes, always yes, always yield. So I haven't hit a land drop yet for the turn. This is pretty easy, right? And now I just do this, and then I pass the turn here. We're gonna Fetch Shock, Hallowed Fountain, double opt, and then next turn we can just start helixing them to the dome. I kinda suck to have to bin the second Lightning Helix there, but I think I definitely need to play the land. Cult Zephyr with the $10 donation. Bat Candy Lass, you may accept condemn. Thank you. Just gonna go ahead and do this op now so I can auto pass. Actually gonna get that so I have more red mana rather than Hallowed Fountain. I'm so dumb! Why am I so dumb? Why am I so dumb, chat? I was like, I want more red. I want more red mana. I wanted more red mana, chat. I wanted more red mana. I don't think we were going to win that game. Like, how am I winning that game? We were dead. We were super dead to the Scourge Devil. Super duper dead to the Scourge Devil. What are my trims here? What are my trims? These are obviously Bedlam Reveler's probably out. Probably don't want that if we're not grinding. What are the other three cuts? Am I supposed to trim one of the cantrips? Did it post another 5-0 list? The first list that 5-0'd was very close to something we'd played on stream previously. It's a deck I've been working on for a long time. I don't know, maybe trimming bolts is wrong because we do just need a way to actually kill them. Like, we're basically a combo burn deck, so trimming bolt could very well be wrong. Like, I cut Bedlam and I cut bolt, so I cut a bunch of win conditions. You can watch a ton of the Blue-Red Delver Fairies deck on my YouTube channel. YouTube.com/Jeff Hoagland. Should cut looting. Why do I cut looting instead of the other cantrips? Is looting the worst cantrip in my deck? I don't know how many times I have to repeat myself. Okay, so looting's the go-to trim then. Yeah, looting's not a cantrip, right? It's like a negative, it's a negative card. I'm gonna grab Sacred Foundry this time intentionally, because we do need double red for Anger of the Gods. That is a Surgical Extraction. Sign me up. Shriekhorn, yep. Oh, they didn't bin a Dredger. That's good for us. Is it... It's definitely aggressive. Is it wrong to get rid of this Stinkweed Imp? Is it wrong to surgical the Stinkweed Imp? I want to just take, like, the Blood Gas out. Alright. They have a Bloodghast in there. I think I'm just going to take their Bloodghast away. Well, their hand's pretty bad. What'd they board in? Just a bunch of Nature's Claims? Sure. So they boarded. They guessed wrong for us. We're on Surgicals and Angers. We're not on Permanent Base Disruption. There's a deck list on your screen. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. They might dredge Dakmor Salvage here, right? Just to get Life from the Loam going. Oh, claims for my Ascension. That makes sense. That makes sense. And I have paths to kind of work my way through the prized amalgams too, which is nice. They don't have a second red, right? So I don't need to play around. My sequencing has been sloppy here. I don't need to play around Conflagrate just yet. Blue-Red Fae got pushed out of the queue for this afternoon by other donations. We'll be back at it at some point this weekend. I assume they're dredging Dakmor Salvage here now. Wow, really? Okay. I mean, it might be hard to play, but I've definitely just, like, made really stupid mistakes mostly along the way here. 2 years down, and in that time period, I got a degree and a first real job. Here's to many more. Thank you, Intangible Hawk, for the 24 months. I appreciate it. What do we think, chat? Is this a keep? How do we feel about this one, Twitch chat? How do we feel about this one? Smells like a winner to me. True Dawn with the raid. Welcome to folks coming over from True Dawn stream. We're hanging out playing some Modern this afternoon. This is 10 out of 10 getting Steam Vents for Op tier. So our Surgicals, we want to prioritize taking away their Blood Gas and their prized and their Narcomoebas, so that way their prized amalgams can't come back. That being said, if they discard 2 of the same Dredger, they only have 1 card in their hand. Now, I'm just going to stay true to the course. I've got double Surgical. I'm just going to take away their things that bring their stuff back. So in response to this Narcomoeba trigger, I'm going to go ahead and Surgical one of them. We're about to take a lot of damage here, but I think this is fine. They don't have a land again. That's really good for us. Take a picture here so it lasts longer. Forgot to do that last time. So we'll opt looking for a land here. And then we have second Surgical and 2 bolts to get Ascension going. You are not a land. That's fine. I always forget that bottoming cards is a suggestion on Magic Online. I'm glad we're gonna have double Helix online here very soon, because we are going real low, chat. Swing low, sweet chariot, come along to carry me home. Oh, they have 2 lands. What am I saying? I said they didn't have enough land. So they're gonna cast this Life from the Loam here, and I'm gonna go ahead and Surgical Bloodghast in response. And we want a Surgical to Bloodghast in response to this Life from the Loam, because if they play a fetch land out, we're not going to be able to Surgical the Bloodghast anymore. What do you think about drawing sideboard cards, chat? Are sideboard cards good in this format? I feel like they might be. So you're saying there's a chance. Yeah, but here's the thing. Oh, this Magic game is great. I love Magic the Gathering. It's my favorite. Do I surgical their nature's claims so they just can't take the Ascension off the table? No, I'm gonna wait till they draw because they could flip a what's it called? They could flip a deal damage card, a Conflagrate. Oh, I could double the surgical with Ascension. Well, that's just absurd. Well, that's just absurd. I didn't even think about that. Maybe we should have just bolted them. Well, I mean, yeah, I get to double. That's what I was thinking. I get to like double all my burn spells and just like kill them super fast, right? I'm gonna take their nature's claims away here. All right. We're on the scoreboard, chat. Feels good to be winning a match. Welcome. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer, memer, content producer here on Twitch. I'm here streaming Magic 30 plus hours a week. If you're enjoying my stuff, make sure you subscribe to the channel. My subscribers are the reason that I'm able to be here as often as I am. Past that, you can support my stuff by checking out some of my really awesome sponsors. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn some of your cards into other cards directly with other players. There's no haggling. They just take a 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, this stream wouldn't be possible without viewers like Anoronic, Justin, Nivik, and all y'all out there. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We're 1-0 with this Jeskai Thing Ascension deck, heading on into our second match of this league. See where it goes. We've played against this person twice today. They were playing Blue Tron the last 2 times we played them. So I'm assuming it's Blue Tron again. Dirty Blue Tron players. I think I'm supposed to lead on Serum Visions here. Perfect. Would really like to draw some lands. It's exactly what I want for Christmas. Did you see how good Surgical goes? Imagine if our deck was full of those effects. Yes. Yes, just imagine. Just imagine. Yeah, Marty, every time you rejoin a league, it counts you as a new player. So... that is a Walking Ballista. I have a Lightning Bolt Walking Ballista. So getting to trade our Lightning Bolt for their Tron payoff feels good here. Yeah, I've got the mute hotkeys on lock. I'm gonna fetch shock for Hallowed Fountain here. Ideally, we're gonna opt into a We're going to opt into a Pyromancer's Ascension here. I messed that up. I should have cast it off of this so I could hold Path to Exile up here, because if I hit Ascension, I don't actually want to cast another cantrip here, and this land would have let me cast a Path to Exile or a cantrip, so small missequencing there. Yep. This is Nilla with the 7-month free subscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. I do appreciate it. Thank you for the continued support. So I'm gonna fetch shock and play this other Sleight of Hand just to guaranteed get the Pyromancer Ascension online. This lets them like play my thing and path it, but like I'm pretty okay with that, I think. I think that's better than letting them double bolt me here. As you will, opponent. Touch me in my naughty spot. Blue Tron is bad against decks that can get underneath it. If you want to learn why Blue Tron is potentially bad, you should watch the video on my YouTube channel. We played it fairly recently in a stream. Correct, Ninja Turtle. There are a significant number of decks that can just get underneath this one. Yeah, all 3 times we've played against Mono Blue Tron today has been the same opponent. So normally it's us that gets to, I should concede, right? The chances of them not finding 2 burn spells is like really low. I'm just gonna save time here. This is a Monastery Mentor Negate matchup. Path to Exile's out. How do we feel about that? I kind of like this. I don't think I want these other cards in my board. You think I want Alpine Moon in this matchup, Burgle? I don't usually board in Alpine Moon in any, or Damping Sphere or Blood Moon in any other decks against Blue Tron. None of the other decks that I play these cards on do I board them in this matchup. Yeah, they don't assemble Tron very quickly usually. Like, that game was kind of the exception, not the rule. The thing about trying to break the Mindslaver lock is they really only need to Mindslaver us once to get us a lot of the time. I think I'm just gonna do this. Less is more. Our deck is proactive. Let's just like bring in more cards to kill them. And, like, disrupt them slightly. Like, their deck doesn't usually consistently have good things to do when they have Tron. Or, like, if they do, the game has gone on long enough that, like, you're not losing because they had Tron, you're losing because the game lasted a long time. At least that's my experience playing it in other matchups, for sure. This hand seems pretty good. I think I just go like tapped land, thing on 1, thing on 2, Serum Visions, like try and cycle through my deck that way. Thing plus Mentor is not a strict combo. We discuss Alpine Moon versus Blood Moon. So, if you are interested in beating big mana decks like Valakut and Tron, you should play this was wrong. I should have played a fetch land to not shuffle cards I bottom back into my deck. If you want to beat big mana decks, you care more about mana efficiency than trying to screw them. Blood Moon is a card used to screw fair mid-range decks out of matches of Magic. Alpine Moon is a mana efficient card that doesn't lose you much tempo to disrupt big mana decks. So basically you want to ask yourself, what does my deck that I'm playing want to use this sideboard slot for? Do I want to use this sideboard slot to try and screw decks like Jeskai and other 3-color mid-range decks out of being able to play Magic? Or do I want to try and play a fair, or do I want to have a card that nets me less tempo loss against big mana decks? That's the point it comes down to. And like, obviously, if you have Blood Moon for trying to beat decks like Jeskai and Jund out of your sideboard, you probably bring it in against Tron and Valakut. But like, Alpine Moon is definitely better at accomplishing that, by and large, in my experience. Alright, chat, we've drawn too many win conditions. I'm gonna concede to this Ugin. Oblivion Stone we might be able to play through. Cantrips, cantrips into cantrips into cantrips, cantrips into cantrips into cantrips. How many lands does this deck play? It's like 17, right? 18? As you will, opponent. And the most frustrating thing about Mindslaver is you got used to, people got, at least I did, I got used to being Mindslavered in Standard, right, where Emrakul gives you an extra turn. Actual Mindslaver is far more brutal than that because I don't get to take another turn. Like, they take my turn and they pass back to themselves and get to take another turn. It's really brutal. No, this bounces non-horror creatures. Alright, well, we're getting Mindslavered again next turn, so... Ooh! Piece of candy, chat! Hopefully this finds a... Hema Dustin, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. Welcome, welcome. Make red blue with this. Let's make a counterspell, of course. Just like Ruining Condescended. I'm just letting this resolve because I want to negate there. I guess if I negated this, I could have... I guess if I negated this and drew Bolt or Helix, I could kill them. I think I'm just supposed to negate the Condescend. I don't know, that's so close. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the YouTube stuff. Thanks for dropping in to give the Prime support. I appreciate that. Prime subs are a significant number of my subs, so I appreciate everybody that sends that my way. Yeah, there's a good chance I should have just negated that Condescend. Oh, yeah, you're right, Burgle. I would have had to hit Cantrip into it. Are we locked now? They upkeep, and then, but yeah, we're Mindslaver locked. We are never going to take another turn. I didn't bring in Alpine Moon again, because by the time your opponent gets something like Tron online anyways, or looping the lock, you're not going to win the game anyways. You're better off trying to kill them before they get to that point, rather than trying to play a card to disrupt them before then. Yep. Your clock ticks down, Jackal Girl. So, Mindslaver locking someone out of the game is not a great way to beat people who are trying to gain every inch on Magic Online, because they'll just time you out most of the time. Myself, however, these cards are great. Fetch Sacred Foundry, play Ascension next turn. No, we didn't Skull Clamp. During their upkeep, they get to put the Mindslaver back on top of their deck and then play it and activate it. So they had 10 mana, they had 12 mana plus Academy runes. Oh, so long Ascension, my old friend. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Gonna grab my Sacred Foundry here. Well, our poker hand's pretty good. No, I think I need to keep the other Looting Burgle, because if I don't hit a land, I can't flashback the other one, and if I do hit a land, I can just flashback the other one and discard this one then. Yeah, we're just looking for Ascension at this point. Well, if we can avoid a discard spell for a turn, this Ascension gets to come down and then probably do dirty things to them. Is this one of the few decks that can outgrind Mardu Pyromancer? I feel like it probably is, right? I feel like this is a deck that can outgrind Mardu Pyromancer. Yeah, they don't like... Unless, like, they have a Wear Chair or Engineer Explosion in the sideboard, they really can't interact with Ascension once it's on the board. So we'll get to go Morphose into Helix this Pyromancer next turn. Yeah, so I should bring in my own Wear Chairs for the next game, right? That was a good draw. Just gonna make red-white again here. And then that land means I get to looting here to trigger this, and then I get to double this Helix up. I think I'm gonna kill this. I think I'm gonna send the other one upstairs here. Do you like killing the Pyromancer with the first one? I think the Pyromancer is just a little bit too difficult to race, especially if they like hit a discard spell for other Helix. So I think I like clearing that out and then just like sending them all to the dome from there. And you get a bolt to the face, and you get a bolt to the face. Everybody gets bolts to the face. We lost to Mono Blue Tron and we beat Dredge. We're currently in game 1 against Mardu Pyromancer. Really glad that I killed the Pyromancer now. Whoa, Burgle, are you implying that my cantrip is going to draw me more cantrips? That's absurd. That sounds like crazy talk. Look at that. They picked the right one. I would have gotten to double Serum Visions otherwise. Ooh, piece of candy, chat. I don't actually want this Bedlam Reveler, do I? I don't actually want this Bedlam Reveler. I'm pretty sure I don't, actually. I think I want the Ascension. This might be greedy. This might be greedy. I'm through all 4 helixes because we drew them early. Bedlam is love, Bedlam is life. Don't burn me out, don't burn me out, don't burn me out, don't burn me out. Maybe I should have bottomed the path. I guess I can bottom the path with the opt, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bottom the path. Oh no. Oh no. Whew. I think I bottomed the path, right? I'm like really just looking for Manamorphose at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna bottom the path. I want cantrips and Manamorphose. Burgle is right. I think I'm supposed to take that. How is Bolt lethal? They're at 12. Flashback is copied, correct? I've never felt so alive, chat. I've never felt so alive. Look at the cards. Oh, yeah, just get some cards right into my veins. Just inject them. Just get them. Yeah. Anybody else feel a little bit dirty? Anybody else feeling a little bit dirty? If this is wrong, then I don't want to be right, chat. If this is wrong, I don't want to be. You know what the worst part about drawing this lightning bolt is? I have to stop drawing cards now. Like, this is just like the worst. I was gonna draw like 6 more cards, and now they're dead. Now they're just dead. How boring is that? Just kill my opponent, I guess. Stop drawing cards. We should have pathed for dominance. At some point, I have to stop winning the game. Alright, so this is definitely a Monastery Mentor matchup, right? I just want all the grind. Did I just cut Faithless Looting? Do I want Wear Tear or Sweepers? I feel like there's a lot of different directions I could go push board in this matchup. Feel like we have a lot of different directions we could go here. I feel like any of these cards could be on the table. I definitely don't want all of them, but any number of these cards could be reasonable inclusions. I feel like because I'm up a game, I can afford to just like not care about potential ley lines. I think I'm just gonna board in Anger and Mentor over the Faithless Lootings and run it. Yeah, I think I wait to see a ley line before I board in Wear Chair. Especially with like boarding in Mentor, I can kill my opponent without Ascension, technically speaking. This hand's great. You tend to board out Path to Exile. That makes sense, actually. If we bring in Wear Chair or something else, we will do it at the cost of Path to Exile. Damn it, Justin. Calm down. Calm down. Dealer's choice, opponent. Pick your poison. Lucky for you, there's a big old button in the stream information section that says MTG decks or decks. You can click on that. It's going to take you to a magical mythical page that has all the deck lists that I've played on it. It'll also be posted underneath the YouTube video of the deck later, when it goes up later. Can we run back Abs and Lone Pox with changes? 10 out of 10 Bardic. That sounds great. They could be blood mooning us. That's a good point. Your opponent is really upset about the average card quality in your hand, right, Burgle? That's what that feels like. Feels like a salty pause. I'm gonna grab the Steam Vents. Stop playing around Blood Moon, but I want to make sure I can cast Anger if I find it. Tripping. Stream planned for tomorrow. At some point, I need to coordinate with my boss what else we have going on to figure out what is an ideal time. I might stream during the Grand Prix tomorrow, just because it's a limited Grand Prix. Volt Sparkle with that brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Welcome. Easiest Lightning Helix of my life. That's a good draw. If we didn't draw the Helix, we we're probably going to go Visions plus Path there. Fetch, basic, swamp, Blood Moon me. Oh, I forgot SCG Philly's going on, right? Is Philly modern? I forgot about Philly. Yeah, I probably won't stream during the day then. We'll see. Oh, it's another team tournament. Yeah, I probably won't stream against that then. That's true. We're marginally less dead to Blood Moon than some others. We'll keep playing till they put pressure into play. Is our deck good? Our deck is modern playable. This deck wins by burning people out too with Pyromancer Ascension and Lightning Bolts. Yeah, Manamorphose or finding a basic island are both like very reasonable ways to win. We have 4 copies of Manamorphose in our deck. They do sealed for day 1. Day 1 is sealed, day 2 in top 8 our draft. There is quite literally a deck called Big Naya. Has Thundermaw, Hellkite, and Tracker in it. We went 4-1 with it earlier today, mostly beating up Blue-White Spirits decks. Look at my opponent rubbing their basics in my face. Discarding basic swap. Yeah, I didn't consider Blood Moon when we were boarding. I'm gonna put in the wear chairs. Oh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby. I got my island and a Manamorphose. Ooh, baby, baby. Do. Is that absurd? We get to turn on both these Ascensions here, right? I just go top here. No, I actually don't even need the Helix, right? Because I have a Helix in my hand. So I make blue-white here. Or, yeah, blue-white. Then I make red-white here. Oh my god, I clicked on green. How did I click on green? Well, mistakes were made. Well, they're active at least. We are probably still ahead, you're not wrong. That they need what's it called? They need engineered explosives, right? I would say that's pretty good, but I have this Anger of the Gods. I boarded out Faithless Looting. Go. Recall ain't got nothing on our triple op, chat. Recall ain't got nothing on the triple opt. I thought dig through time was banned. They could play a discard spell and take Manamorphose here. They could like Thoughtseize or Inquisition us. Rude. Rude. Now they're only mostly dead. I'm gonna start with double Serum Visions here, I think. Well, now we're definitely starting with double Serum Visions. Why are there extra pates in their deck and not surgical extractions? It's budget surgical. That's why. That's 100% why. It's budget surgical. Got it? The fact that they both took our Manamorphose and killed an Ascension could mean that they're still in this game. I think I'm gonna draw the bolt here and just like try and kill them. Yeah, I agree, Burgle. And Plains is basically a bolt, right? Because we have this Lightning Helix. They have 3 swamps in their deck. Weird. Yeah, I'm gonna cut all the Path to Exiles in the next game, I think. I'm gonna bring the Faithless Lootings back in. I think we just play through Blood Moon. I don't think I want the Wear Chairs. That's true. We could still win this game. I'm just talking about... I'm just filling downtime. That's what good content producers do. They fill their downtime with relevant context. If these had been Faithless Lootings, we'd have plowed right through them this game. No, this is game 2. We're up a game. If we draw Bedlam too, we're in a great spot. I left those in, right? There's 2 Bedlams in my deck at the moment. I'm through both my Angers, so these spirits are a little annoying. These have us dead in 5 currently, since I'm in a virtual 17. I mean, we're kind of flooded. We've drawn half my deck. So, like, the fact that we've seen a bunch of lands in half my deck is, like, not really that big of a deal. I expect to see a good deal of lands in half my deck. The thing I did was I cut the Faithless Looting to sort of cycle through this type of thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, we could just also just like run off a couple of things here. More helixes, more bolts. Yeah, I'm just gonna play like we'll draw bolts for the next 2 to 3 turns. Because I want to kill them. Because killing their spirits isn't how I'm going to win this game. I don't have an Anger of the Gods left. I'd rather just like do this and like set up to just like draw bolts and helixes for the remainder of the game. Psycho Smurf with the $15 donation. For my dragons, make some changes to accommodate. Sounds good, sounds good. There's no reason to hold these lands. I don't have lootings in my deck. Is my mentor dead? I miss our right. I miss when their opponent was just mercilessly going to lose the game. Why are we playing a close game of Magic? Everything's dark and scary. I had misclicked. If I hadn't misclicked, we'd have probably won this game. Alright, we're dead to K Command and Bolt and Brutality, so ain't got nothing to do. Kill me. Two bolts, two helixes in my deck. Alright, so either I'm dead or they have removal. Because they're dead on board currently. Or blocker, sure. Cantrips or burn spells. Yep. Close game considering my misclick and probably not having been boarded optimally. I'm gonna cut these Path to Exiles and bring these Faithless Lootings back in. Nah, I don't think I want Wear Chair. I think if I would have just fetched Basic Island earlier that game, we'd have been fine. We would have won that match through Blood Moon with better play. I think Blood Moon's not a card I actually care about. Yeah, I agree with that too, Burgle. I think the fact that they have discard spells that are, or Graveyard Hate that's not Leyline implies they don't have Leyline. If they had Leyline, I'd want Wear Chair, but I think they're implying they don't have Leyline currently. Opponent's mulligan to 5. Yes, we saw a pretty significant portion of their deck. I made a couple of bad choices early. But yeah, definitely part of that game was definitely decided by a misclick. Not close. So, I think I'm just going to play this Flooded Strand and then pass the turn here. Hoping that next turn I can go Monastery Mentor into Cast Opt. Just like get one guaranteed trigger off of it. Obviously, if they cast Blood Moon here, I feel a little bit bad about this decision, but I think this is great overall. I know I'm fetching a basic with this. There's no reason to fetch at their end step. I'm going to fetch a basic island here because we have way more blue than white. So this way, even if this eats it right away, it still leaves behind a monk that will live on in its name. Hopefully it doesn't eat it, though. I'd like it if it lived. If it lives, the game gets out of control very quickly for us. Holy gosh, are they like dread boring or angering me or collective brutalitying me? I don't understand, chat. I don't understand. I'm not untapping with this mentor, right? Just like 0% untap. I am untapping with this mentor, aren't I? I don't understand. I don't understand, chat. Chat, we're untapping with the mentor, chat. Chat, we're untapping. This is your captain speaking. We are untapping with the mentor. Over. I'd like to repeat, this is not a drill. This is not a drill. We're untapping with Monastery Mentor and cantrips. This is not a drill. Oh gosh. Chat. Help. I need somebody help. Not just anybody. Legacy turn incoming. Maybe Noxera? I don't know. The Serum Visions is better set up for sure. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. This is... How do we feel about this turn, chat? What do we think? What are we thinking? I'm thinking this turn's just like, kinda okay. Kinda okay. He's dead. Stop hitting him! He's dead! Stop hitting him! These mentors in the board are pretty decent, chat. Is this vintage? Do 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 do. Worst part is I've got this draw 3 and I just don't even need to do anything with it, chat. I don't even hold all these cards. How do I even hold all these cards? A timeout 2 after this turn. Oh no! Oh no! Friendly fires on extra! Extras, oh no! That's weird. My opponent didn't want to play Magic anymore. Come back, opponent! Opponent, come back! I wasn't done drawing cards. Yeah, I played in a couple Commander things. I just, like, regretted my decisions every time I did it, though. So I don't really have a plan to ever revisit that format. It's also not particularly popular in terms of content. This hand is absurd. This hand is absurd. Heidi-ho, the cherry-o. This hand is absurd. Temple of Enlightenment means ad nauseum or blue-white control. There have been a couple of iterations of blue-white control that have been playing Temple of Enlightenment. Am I streaming tomorrow? I'm not sure yet. I need to talk to the boss and find out. Christy wanted to have people over to play board games either tomorrow night or Sunday night, so I need to figure out which of those nights she's having people over. I think I'm gonna go top here. Because I have this fetch land, I have the option to shuffle away the thing in the ice should I not want it. 5 months, and I still have to refresh the browser post. Jeff, the mentor was hot fire. Keep up God's work. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Usually once a day, Twerk and Rogue. So all of the ones that had been submitted by the end of yesterday's stream, I went through last night, and then the ones that are done today, I've been streaming for the last 7 hours almost. I'm just jamming this now. It looks like they're a control deck. Getting this to resolve is pretty big. They could have Detention Sphere in their deck. Yeah, Ad Nauseam doesn't play Field of Ruin. They're almost certainly a Terminus-based control deck here. I'm gonna start with the Faithless Looting here, see where we go from there. Sign me up for this Manamorphose, pass the turn. Get Steam Vents cast up during their end of turn, hopefully get this online next turn. What's the over under the days till we refreeze the kiosk at 14? Yeah, it might end up being that we do like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off extras. It might end up being that we do 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. I want a lightning bolt, right? Because it turns on the Ascension. Maybe I'm supposed to flashback looting there and put the first bolt into the bin. Yeah, that's probably what I'm supposed to do, actually. I'm probably supposed to flashback looting and ditch, like, bolt path. Getting this into play probably doesn't accomplish much. I guess it's like casting rampant growth, right? Because they're going to path exile me. Oh, Helix turns on Ascension. I forgot about that. Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah, maybe I should have upstairs the Helix. I mean, it's kind of a win con. The win con in actuality is like drawing all the cards. I love on cast triggers versus control extra. Not said every player who's ever put an Eldrazi on the stack. Ooh. Ooh. Found a piece of candy, chat. Found a Manamorphose shaped piece of candy. It was a yummy, yummy piece of candy. Actually, don't even want Bedlam. Nah, I've got enough cards. Go away, Bedlam Reveler. Go away, Bedlam Reveler. Nobody loves you. Nobody loves you, Bedlam Reveler. Craig Maego with the $15 donation. Some democracy for Teamer mid-range. Thank you, Craig Maego. I appreciate it. I have no idea, Tempest. I'm definitely not a expert in that archetype. Yeah, they're dead, Jim. I'm gonna finish drawing cards, though. They could concede at any point. In the meantime, I'm gonna draw some cards. We have yet to cast the Reveler this league. Alright, I'm about to be like the Oprah of lightning bolts. And you get a bolt, and you get a bolt. Everybody gets a bolt. We're not going to play around summary dismissal. I'm gonna tweet a picture of that one. I am streaming from a Linux computer currently. I didn't realize Bolt Head Storm. Am I getting logic knotted for 4? Seriously? Bottom. Kill you. Are we done here? Nice control deck. All right, I probably want wear chairs for rest in pieces and detention spheres here. I know what I'm cheesing FNM with this week. What do I want to cut? I need 3 cuts. Get a thing and 2 lootings. I like that, actually. I was gonna say something close to that. Let's do this. You want to leave some things in because you need to kill them, right? I mean, fetches and shocks are infinite dollars, right? If you own modern mana bases, it's probably not that expensive to build this deck. I'm gonna dubs bottom here. Pretty sure I just want to like aggressively look for Ascension. I'm just gonna go ahead and looting here. I have lands to discard. Yes, we do. Alrighty. Manamorphose are $10+. That's so stupid. Why is this card $10? This isn't an old printing. This is a master set, right? Well, I just got auto-passed out of using that opt. The reason why I didn't opt in response there is because I had apparently pressed my auto-pass hotkey. Griselbrand, not close. Griselbrand's the nut. That's great. One, two, three, four, five. All right, I think I'm just gonna start doming them, right? I'm just gonna start doming them at end of turn so I can like play this Bedlam Reveler with Negate up. So we've like fumbled around missing an Ascension for too long, so we're just like gonna try and play an actual fair game of Magic here. Make red here. Yeah, I could have Python, but I want to just get my damage in too. I want to just like attack them this way. Like use the spells in my hand to get points of damage in. Because like there's a non-zero chance that like this Reveler just gets non-zero chance that this Reveler just gets killed. Gives them a chance to stick like Teferi, but I think that's fine. Maybe I'm supposed to keep the land. Maybe I'm not supposed to do that. Maybe I'm just supposed to pass there. Whoops. Whoopsie. It's a good draw. I'm actually gonna let this resolve. I think I'd rather fight over the Monastery Mentor. I didn't realize the opponent was playing a combo deck too. You think we can cast an 8-mana Reveler this game, chat? This is feeling like an 8-mana Reveler, right? Why would we concede? Like, I'm like the king of quick concessions. And that seems like an early concession to me. Let's do this now. This means we can cast this next turn if we draw Manamorphose or a land. So we've got an actual game here, right? We've got our Mentor and possibly a Reveler set up, and they've got Teferi going. So we're not just dead by any means. Hopefully we just rip a land and slam this Bedlam. They gonna Ghost Quarter me to shuffle the Mentor away? Are we firing up Colonnade? Okay. Down to 12, deal. Smoke if you got him, chat. Smoke if you got him. Removal spell means we can kill Teferi here. This has been a good game. A lot of back and forth. Oh gosh. Pyromancer's Ascension triggers Monastery Mentor? That's so absurd. It's kind of absurd that Pyromancer's Ascension triggers Monastery Mentor, right? Let's see, they did know this was coming. I think this deck's fine. Most decks are competitive in Modern. This sequencing is bad, right? I'm not going to start putting counters on it anyway, so I should have cantrip first here. 10 out of 10 should have cantrip before playing this. I'm doing well, Pinky. Howdy, howdy. You have another cryptic? Sure. Yes. Am I out of fetchables? I forget. I feel like I am. All right. That's real bad because it tells them their Ghost Quarter's active. We're dead at this point, I think. Oh, Bolt could have killed Teferi, right? Yeah, that was loose. I think we're still just dead to the Colonnade, though. Hopefully we can get under them on the play. Yeah, I think I'm happy with how we boarded. I think we just spent a little bit too much time fumbling around and died. I'm doing well, Full Metal. Life is swell. Life is swell. I opened the donation queue again, and we got a flooded deck, so we'll see. We'll see what all ends up getting in, what doesn't. Just aggressive bottoms here again, looking for that Ascension to get online. Grab a Hallowed Fountain here. Yeah, this is definitely a Xerox deck. 10 out of 10. Listen, Burgle, I'll take none of your sass, okay? I've been happy with how we sequenced so far, thank you. Alright, so... Do I jam the Ascension here? Or do I Serum Visions looking for a 4th land? Yeah, it's exactly like, I think I'm just supposed to, like, you know, or the combo deck do the thing. And then I feel bad when they negate me here, but like, it's whatever. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to jam there. I think it's playing too scared to wait for negate back up. Yeah, definitely full metal. When it comes back up, I will definitely make the changes that we talked about. I have Wear Tear at least here. Xerox refers to a deck full of cantrips for people that are unfamiliar with that vernacular. Kind of just looking for a red source at this point, right? Although, can you maybe argue I should keep the cantrip? That's a good one. That's a good one, yeah? Get our second red source on here. You can bolt into... Huh, so this is interesting. I don't actually really have that many white spells. I'm actually going to be a little greedy here and get a basic mountain. So that way I can bolt their dome at end of turn. And then I can untap, and if I draw a land, I can actually untap and have Bedlam with Negate up. They're about to tuck my Ascension, aren't they? It's actually okay with me, right? Because I get to bolt this, and then I get to untap and play Bedlam Reveler. Sacred Foundry, along with my Ascension, please. Okay. That's an okay sequence for us. Figure out what we want to do next turn. I think worth noting they don't have Cryptic up yet still because of how their mana base is. I'm going to lead on this, see where we get. Probably make red-white with it. Definitely just here to jam. Y'all ready for the space jam? Y'all ready for this? Reveler's getting to be a big boy, ladies and gentlemen. He's all grown up. Super. The prowess is strong in this one. Getting spell quellered. Okay. I was not expecting that one. Interesting. That seems like an absurd card to board in against the 8 Lightning Bolt deck. Maybe they thought I was going to board these out. That's unfortunate. If they have an untapped land here, they get to 2-turn clock us, which is a little bit scary. That being said, they have been missing land drops, so no guarantees they have that for sure. Start with this, probably make red-white. I think I want a looting here, right? I think I want a looting. Faye got bought out. Had some large donors send dollar dues. This might be too slow at this point. Okay, I mean, they haven't had a path to exile so far, so if they still don't have one next turn, we can put them in a position where they're forced to jump block, because we have guaranteed up looting flashback. We're 2-1 in this league. This is game 3. Yeah, we're 2-1. 2-1 in this league at the moment. What you got? Double attack there is not good to us. Wow, that's brutal. I mean, like, they probably have a Snapcaster Mage or something anyways, but just, like, no spell to make this lethal in that many cards is kind of absurd. We're not guaranteed dead, right? They have to have a land to kill us next turn. Want some ads? Here's a quarter. Thank you, Bygone. I appreciate it. We got to do our thing in a couple of matches. I definitely think a deck like the opponents that can kind of pick apart and interact with our Ascension on the board is definitely one of our harder matchups. So they get to opt here, so they get 3 looks at an untapped land to kill us with a Celestial Colonnade, potentially. We would have killed them with any Lightning Bolt or Helix there. Keeping Thing wasn't out. You mean if I chained 4 cantrips next turn, Thing was kind of an out? If I chained 4 cantrips next turn, I'm like in a good spot regardless though. Because then like my Bedlam's big enough to do stuff. I guess the Monastery Mentor is not really accomplishing anything either, so like what's the big deal? That's the land. Good games, opponent. All right, we're 2-2. Let's see if we can pop on in to the last match of this league and prove ourselves to be a real modern deck. This is definitely some of the most cards I've drawn in a long time. Ascension's a very sweet card. We haven't really had Thing in the Ice be particularly good in any of the games we've played just yet. I know it's a good card. I understand why it's in the deck. It's just like feels weird that we've played 4 matches and it hasn't really popped up. Have we even attacked with the 7/8 yet? I'm trying to think here. I think the only match we flipped it in so far was a match where we died to Mindslaver Lock. On the stack with that brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And there's a lot of different things. Lots of different people out there making a lot of great content on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine. Is certainly a keep. Bottom and on land. Yeah, that's true too. We haven't really played against anything like Elves or Affinity humans decks that play to the board. Yeah, we're about getting to stand up. We're at the point. We've been going long enough today that I'm just kind of tired in general. Alright, speaking of them creature decks, let's see if Thing... Yeah, we played against the same mono blue Tron player 3 times today in leagues. Must have just been playing Magic Online all day like we are. We are not playing Young Pyromancer. There's a deck list on your screen. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. I'm going to bottom the Manamorphose there because we just really need to draw land to play this Thing in the Ice on turn 2. I mean, Humans just isn't a deck that's played a ton in Modern in general. The thing about Modern is it's a format where there's infinite decks and you're never going to see the same deck multiple times. Like, it's pretty rare to see any deck in this format multiple times. Like, that's true of friendly leagues, competitive leagues, F&M, Star City Opens, Grand Prix, like... It's the most diverse format that Magic has ever had. Non-zero chance we flip Thing on turn 3 here, which would be sweet. Would certainly be sweet. Blue-White Spirits is definitely flooding Magic Online. That happens every time there's a new big deck where people think something might be broken. Everybody piles in. Yeah, I was just talking about not having seen Thing in the Ice shine just yet, and this is certainly a matchup where that could, or this next turn even especially, could not be the case. That being said, they actually have four mana here, so there's a non-zero chance they could float. Mana and then collect a company after I flip my Thing in the Ice. People are so annoying. Does speech about how you see variety of decks everywhere. Person immediately talks about how, well, bye friends. Bye friends. Reminds me of when Declan and Jake and I are leaving somewhere and we say bye friends to the people we walk away from. Bye elves. Bye bye. See you later. I actually don't want this path, right? I think I'll take the Sleight of Hand. No, I probably don't want the Sleight of Hand either, honestly. So, powerful cantrips are banned in Modern, not because of necessarily a strictly raw power level, but because when you have a critical mass of cantrips in the format becomes focused and blue-based like you see in Legacy. Brainstorm and Ponder are the reason Legacy is so blue-focused, and there are many people, myself included, that find the obligation to play blue if you want your deck to be anywhere near consistent frustrating and annoying. And I'm glad that we don't have a critical mass of blue cantrips unbanned in Modern. I think having the powerful cantrips banned in Modern makes sense. Ancient Stirrings is very good, but it is not a critical mass of cantrips, or not a critical mass of powerful green cantrips. One, I don't think qualifies as a critical mass. Force of Will is definitely an important and powerful card. I think the cantrips are more important. You are welcome to disagree with that. That's a subjective opinion, but I think the cantrips are more important than the other things. And as far as like I'm a big fan of like adding things to the format that like create interesting and exciting games. Cantrips don't create interesting and exciting games. Cantrips create games where I'm forced to sit there and wait for my opponent to make decisions that should take them 30 seconds, but take them 4 minutes instead. I don't think that's true, Apostle Man. I don't think the lack of consistency is Control's problem. I think Control's problem is that in a format that's as diverse as Modern, Control just can't be good. And that's okay. You have Standard where Control is good. You have Legacy where Control tends to be good. Viable and good mean different things. Yes, you can play a deck like Jeskai Controller Blue-White and win plenty of matches of Magic. You can play most things in Modern and win matches of Magic with them. And again, this goes back to why Wizards of the Coast hides data, because I can tell you I'm fairly confident that blue control decks aren't good in Modern, and you'll just sit there and tell me, well, they are, and it doesn't matter that I have a bunch of experience. People will just say, well, I don't feel that way, and I don't have any way to make what they're saying invalid with a reasonable logical argument. All I can say is that I have lots of experience playing lots of Magic, and most of it Modern, and in my opinion, the control decks feel completely lackluster and underpowered every time I play them. And we don't have good, reasonable, clean data to say in one direction or the other if that's actually true or not. My videos aren't proof. As much as I would love them to be, my videos really aren't proof. Start by flashing this back. No, the reason why Control tends to be good in Legacy is because Control is Legacy as a format is far more narrow than Modern is on average. I agree, Deaf Fangirl. You throw enough noodles at the wall, eventually some of them stick. There is undoubtedly a number of people that register control decks in almost every tournament they play. And if you have enough people registering enough control decks, some of them are going to do well. Some of them are going to top it, especially when you have good players playing those control decks. Finishing in the top 16 or top 8 or top 32 or top 64 of a tournament doesn't actually let you determine the power level of a deck. The data that you need to access the performance metrics of decks that are played comes down to conversion rates, which is data that we largely don't have access to. We did not miss a point of damage because I was casting Thing in the Ice there and not Pyromancer's Ascension. Although maybe I should have cast Pyromancer's Ascension because then they'd be dead to Bolt or Helix. Yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe that was wrong. Do we side out Ascension? I don't know. If we can cantrip into cantrips, we might flip this thing in the ice and kill them. Bedlam is a horror, so it does not get flipped by thing in the ice. Make blue-red with this. Oh, and then I'm guaranteed to flip because I have a Faithless Looting in my bin. Boop. Bye, friends. Bye, friends. Hello, darkness, my old friend. To the person who I timed out earlier for telling me Faithless Looting was worse than Thought Scour with no thought or validation, I present Exhibit A. Alright, Anger is an easy in. I want to bring Mentor in here too, don't I? Mentor actually seems pretty good because they can't kill it, so it just goes absurd, just goes insane. Negate is too narrow. We want to play this match out as a tap out control deck, not counterspelling them. No, I don't think that's worth it. So what do I want to board out here? Do I want to board out Cantrips or Pyromancer's Ascension, Burgle? The suggestion of boarding out Pyromancer's Ascension doesn't actually seem that unreasonable to me. At least some of them, maybe. 2 Ascension, 2 Looting. Yeah, I like that. That seems fine. I like that. Now, I think I just want to kill other payoffs, Burgle. I mean, you could argue that my Mentor is going to get big enough before I cast Anger that that's not going to matter. That's true too. They definitely saw Ascension. They didn't lose to Ascension, but they saw it. So this is the last match of this league with the Thing Ascension deck. We've got a really sweet 5-color Bring to Light Glittering Wish Kiki combo deck that we're going to wrap the day up with. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. I really appreciate it. Been going for about 7.5 hours, probably looking at about 9 hours or so for today's stream total. Keep in mind that the donation queue is open back up for normal donation amounts. So if you're a subscriber to the stream, you can add new decks to the queue for as little as $10. Check out the deck submission link down below for that. I'm going to keep this. They mulliganed. It's a little slow, but we've got some cantrips. Hopefully find some burn spells. Find some Anger of the Gods and stuff. I have no idea. I do not have an association with Card Hoarder. Oh, would you look at that, chat? We found some candy. Would you look at that, chat? We found some candy. How do I feel about it? If you have 4 trackers in your deck, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm just not doing Legacy anymore, Gator. Just maybe if a bunch of sweet stuff comes out of the Pro Tour, we'll revisit it, but Legacy just hasn't been fun for me. And Legacy content is less popular than Modern content, so if it's not fun and it's less popular, it doesn't make sense for me to play it. Legacy just doesn't generate what I find to be enjoyable games of Magic. I mean, Splinter Twin's not a control deck. Splinter Twin's like a tempo combo deck. Which maybe you could argue that tempo means aggro control, but it's okay for control decks to be bad in Modern. It is, chat. There's this format called Standard where control is often very good. Honestly, it wasn't even the popularity of Legacy. It's just between the gameplay and the amount of hostility I get from people that watch the content, and that's not people specifically. I really appreciate the people in this community who enjoy Legacy, who have supported me, but there are a number of times when I play Legacy that the people who are watching me play are just like actively hostile when I make mistakes. I'm like, let's be honest, y'all watch my Modern content. I make mistakes when I play Modern too. People are far less rude when I do it in this format. Man, you should consider keeping the gods happy, your opponent. Bye, friends. And the ghosting, too. That's true. The fact that they're all competitive leagues means people ghost far more often. I'm going to start with this. Just like put a bunch of cards into my bin so we can get to Bedlam Revelering next turn, hopefully. What's wrong with ghosting? It's technically not against the terms of service, so do it to your heart's content. It just makes my gameplay experience far worse. So I've got 5 things in here currently. 7 total, and 1, 2 aren't instants or sorceries. So my Bedlam currently costs, however much, 3. I'm gonna play and fetch. Do I even path this? I don't even know if I path this at this point. I'm gonna start by doing this and see where we get. Make red here. The ice is pretty good. And again, that statement was not that every Legacy player is rude. That statement was my experience in terms of producing content is that my content that I make is met with more hostility when I play Legacy versus Modern. That makes it less enjoyable for me. I do this for fun by and large. Maybe I should have bet Shocked to have double white. Don't mind me, just can't tripping, chat. This deck is gas. Alright, I'm really glad we got to play against Elves in this last match. After I talked about being kind of sad, being kind of medium on Thing in the Ice. Are they dead? I think they're actually dead, right? If they're not dead, they're pretty close to it. I haven't actually counted yet, but I think they're dead. Yeah, this is 6, 6, and then 14 is 20. Good, clean living. Alright. Sweet. Finished. Finished with the good old... Oh, did I miss a good one, Anoronics? Got him. 3 and 2. I don't have really good feedback on what you're supposed to change in this deck. This is again... This, again, is like kind of... While this is kind of a fair deck, it's basically a combo burn deck. And combo decks are the type of thing where you need a lot of experience with them to give pretty specific feedback on how to change and improve. And God bless. Good riddance. So, you know. And so I think if I were to play this deck, I would play the card for card, but I was given more times before I made changes to it. Boop, yeah, on the nose. Please remember that if you want to provide feedback on a deck we're playing on stream, you need to be specific. You need to say it's good, it's bad, because, and then validate it. Let me know. Let me feel something. All right, I got one more.